This is Friday Night Football on KLST, brought to you by Randall Motors.
Good evening and welcome into Friday Night Football Week 6, the Texas high school football season upon us. District play begins for 3 of our area teams. On top of that, the vast majority of teams off this week, but those not in district play taking advantage of non-district play one final time, including the Lakeview Chiefs looking to snap their 4-game losing streak here tonight. Final non-district tune-up for the Chiefs taking on Midland Greenwood. Rangers got off to a great start as Cade Roldwit gets the reverse from Demarion Mayfield. Talk about getting tricky. Sees nothing but daylight ahead of him, and sunset going into the Rangers, taking a 7-0 lead. More from Greenwood. Peyton decides to do it himself. The Rangers make that 2-point conversion, making it 15-0. Tough sled tonight for the Chiefs. They drop their final non-district game in Greenwood. See their losing streak fall to 52-6, the final. It's one of those games you circle on your calendar each year. Wall and Mason, 2 powerhouses in 11-man football here in the Concho Valley, clashing once again this evening. Mason hosting Wall in a battle of heavyweights here in the Concho Valley. Wall looking to strike first. QB sneak. That's Gunnar Dillard in for this first score of the evening. Punchers ready to punch back. Get it? Matthew King a little trapped. He'll take a step over the Hawks and waltz into the end zone to put Mason on the board and back into this one. Mason ready to take over the lead. Carlton Schmidt with the Jets met with 2 Hawks. No problem. He's in for the Punchers touchdown. That gives Mason their first lead of the night. Hawks trying to fight back. Defense working in overtime. Punchers look to go downfield, but it's met in the hands of the Hawks for an interception. However, Mason goes on to remain undefeated tonight, 14-7 the final. District play kicking off this evening for the largest district involving Concho Valley teams, District 5 2A Division II, with El Dorado, Sterling City, and Water Valley beginning the, quote, real season this evening. Sterling City hosting Water Valley to kick off District 5 2A play tonight. Eagles strike first in this one. Seth Turner gets the handoff, takes it in himself from short yardage. That'll make it 7-0 SC. More from the Eagles, this time through the air. Ty Turner connects with Seth Turner, makes an incredible one-handed catch over the middle. Sterling City adds to the lead after that tutter. Water Valley gets on the board here. Deep ball that's connected to Chaden Gibbs, who hauls it in for the score to put the Wildcats on the board, 14-6. But too much Sterling City tonight. Ball right around midfield. Y'all sit back, watch and enjoy what Ty Turner does here. Goes through about half the Water Valley team, gets a block there. He's gone to pay dirt. Eagles kick off District 5 2A play with a big home victory tonight over Water Valley, 41-14. El Dorado beginning district play by hosting 9th-ranked Wink this evening. Early in the first, Omar Barajas fakes the handoff up the middle. Elizar Hernandez pitches it out to Tony Kamek. He's gone, beating the defenders to the pylon. Eagles lead 7-0. Jason Covarrubias showcasing his speed here on the play. Takes the pitch from Barajas, turns on the Jets, setting the Eagles up in great field position at the 45-yard line. Second quarter now, Barajas takes the snap, rolls to his right, launches to the air for a wide-open Jason Covarrubias, who walks into the end zone for the El Dorado score. This one's still going on at last check. Wink on top of El Dorado, 49-14. All right, so here's how things look after week 1 in play. Barring El Dorado comeback, it'll be Wink and Sterling City sitting at 1-0. In district play, McCamey played a non-district opponent tonight. Ira Ann was off. El Dorado and Water Valley both fall to 0-1. They'll both play one another next week. Speaking of next week games, Sterling City back home again. They take on McCamey, as I mentioned. El Dorado, Water Valley, a key Concho Valley district game there, and then Ira Ann travels to Wink. One of the hottest teams right now in the Concho Valley, the Junction Eagles, winners of 4 straight after an opening week loss, responding well as they gear up with their final non-district tune-up here this evening. Junction going on the road to Roscoe tonight, meeting up for the first time since 2015. This game about a month and a half ago scheduled for Junction. One final tune-up before they begin District 14 2A play. The Eagles fall tonight. They open up district play on the road next week against Stockdale. All right, coming up after the break, our 6-man highlights and recaps from around the Concho Valley. A showdown in Paint Rock as the Indians hosted the undefeated Very Best Falcons in our KLST Game of the Week. One of the longest running rivalries in Texas renewed tonight. Bront hosting Robert Lee.
We're the Robert Lee Cheerleaders, and you're watching Friday Night Football on KLST.
Welcome back. Quite the six-man crossover tonight in Paint Rock. Two teams have come out guns a-blazing to the season, looking to continue their hot starts as we kick off week 6 of play. Paint Rock off to a 4-1 start, hosting Very Best tonight, who's perfect at 5-0. The Falcons strike first. AC Natividad with the pitch back to Bryson Martin, follows his QB, delivers a block, in for the score, 8-0 Falcons. More from Very Best on the ground. Hunter Tucker gets the handoff, takes a man in with him for the score. Shout out to the ref for getting that right there. 16-0 score. Second quarter now, Bryce Martin gets the pitch back, follows his blockers upfield. He's gone to pay dirt. Touchdown makes it 22-0. Paint Rock would make it close. Very Best, though, remains undefeated on the season. 53-22 the final. Our KLST game of the week needs no introduction. The Coke County rivalry adds another page to its long, storied history book tonight, with Robert Lee taking on Bront. The Steers with a 52-51 for all-time series advantage. The 108th edition of the Coke County rivalry, Bront hosting Robert Lee this evening. First quarter, Brody Pitcock pitches it to Braden Sherwood. He drops back, a beautiful ball right in the hands of Wyatt Bosworth. Steers lead 8-0. Still in the first pitch, Pitcock again to Braden Sherwood, looking to find some holes. Seems like no one will catch him. Bouncing off defenders, Longhorn strips the ball. Recovered by Bosworth. He'll have no one in front of him. He's in for another Steers touchdown. Second quarter now, Braden Sherwood once again. Big night for him. He strolls into the end zone with ease to continue Robert Lee's lead. And the Steers dominate in this one. 51-6 the final. Our Sabrina Hoover out at Stevenson Stadium with more from this one tonight. Hello, Sabrina.
Hey, Ryan. Well, tonight marked a crucial test for the Bront Longhorns. The Steers would jump out to an early 23-0 lead, while the Longhorns would find their only touchdown of the night just 4 minutes right before halftime. And as seen in those highlights, Wyatt Bosworth played a crucial key role in this victory. He would finish the night with 3 touchdowns. And head coach Rocky Rawls anticipated this challenge earlier this week, especially losing his key running back and linebacker Cole Knight. They definitely missed him due to his absence. Their running game struggled. Final score here, 51-6, Robert Lee. The Bront Longhorns now drop to 1-5 on the season, and they will face Oglesby next week, while the Steers now improve to 5-1 on the season. They begin district play next week when they face the Menard Yellow Jackets. Reporting from Stevenson Stadium, I'm Sabrina Hoover. Back to you, Ryan.
This live shot is sponsored by AFCO Steel.
Thank you for that report, Sabrina. After bye week a week ago, Erie County returning to action tonight, sitting at 2-2 with those 2 losses by just 1 possession each, as first-year head coach Sean Harrison continues the squad for Erie County. Hornets over in Lakey tonight, taking on the Eagles for the 6th time in program history. They make it 5 for 6 when it comes to wins. Erie County back in the win column tonight. They host Grand Falls Royalty next week. Week 6 kicked off last night. The Menard Yellow Jackets, one of the hottest teams in the Concho Valley right now, make it 4 straight wins after dropping their Week 2 contest. Yellow Jackets knocking off Nacious Canyon last night. They'll host Robert Lee, a battle of 5-1 teams in their District 13-1A opener next Friday. Over in Lomita this evening, the Eden Bulldogs, winners of 2 straight, taking on the Hornets in a battle of 2 and 3 teams. Lomita's won the last 6. They make it 7 straight victories over the Bulldogs tonight. Eden their comeback comes up short. Words are tough sometimes. Bulldogs begin District 13-1A play next week on the road against Very Best. First time in a couple weeks, 3 days of high school football happening in the Concho Valley. Tomorrow night, homecoming for the Blackwell Hornets as they face the Panthers of Panther Creek. Say that 3 times fast. Blackwell back in action after a bye week last week, looking to snap their 2-game losing skid. All right, we've reached halftime here on Friday Night Football. That's it for our recaps and highlights from scores around the Concho Valley from Week 6 here in the area. After the break, though, district previews begin for our 4 districts involving Concho Valley teams that begin play next week, including the District 2 6A opener for the Central Bobcats. Welcome back to Friday Night Football. District play begins for a lot of teams next week. The real season, if you will, for Fridays as teams begin their drive to the postseason, playing football in mid-November. One of those teams looking to turn around the record from non-district play, the Central Bobcats, a young cat squad for head coach Kevin Crane, will look to use the varsity experience those young players got to their advantage the first 5 games of play, getting to the playoffs for the 14th straight season. Here's a look at the Little Southwest Conference fair to non-district play. Midland Friendship both win a perfect 5 for 5, while Midland Legacy finishing at 4-1. Both Odessa schools finishing at 3-2. Central, the only team below 500, finishing at 1-4. Next week, district play begins for Central and Midland High. We get a Thursday night lights next week. How about that? Sabrina, you're going to San Angelo Stadium next Thursday. Friday, quote, the heavyweight openers. Friendship travels to Legacy, and red versus white when Odessa travels over to Mojo. The Lakeview Chiefs been a tough go for the pride of the North Side in non-district play after starting out with a bang. Chiefs have now dropped 5 straight as they begin district play next week. Besides 2 weeks of play, the offense has been putting up crazy amounts of points for head coach Hector Guevara's group, but the defense unable to keep their opponents out of the end zone. Lakeview looks to begin a new playoff streak this season after not making a year ago in one of the toughest districts in Region 1 in Class 4A. All of District 2-4A Division 1 in action tonight before district play begins. Here's a look at how things went. Brownwood and Stephenville, it was 17-14 Stephenville as we started. So Brownwood technically still 5-0, and then they are looking to round that out. So next week we'll have Lakeview at home Friday night, so we get a double dip of teams at San Angelo Stadium. Central Thursday, Lakeview Friday. Brownwood travels to Big Spring. Lubbock Estacado getting the week off next week. District 2-3A Division 2, a district with 4 of the 6 teams here in the Concho Valley. The Wallhawks looking to repeat as district champs for the first time since the 2018-2019 seasons. Wall the only team in action this evening. The rest are off, so here's a look at how they finished in non-district play. 4th-ranked Wall finishing 3-2 off the loss to Mason tonight. TLCA San Angelo impressive to start this year. They also 3-2. Early and Brady sitting at 1-4, and Ballinger and Grape Creek winless this far. District play kicking off next week. Wall travels to Grape Creek. Ballinger and Early square off against one another, and then Brady hosts TLCA San Angelo. Down to District 3-2A Division 1, a 3-way tri-district championship last year with Sonora, Forsan, Reagan County sharing the top spot in this district a year ago. Been impressive what Sonora's done to this point of the season. Half the season without their quarterback Jaime Butron. It's okay. They have Edgar DeLuna. 5-0 for the Sonora Broncos. A tie for second with 4-1 records, Forsan and Reagan County. So they're 3-2. Anthony sitting at 2-2, only playing 4 non-district games. Ozona and Cristoville each finished district play off with 2-3 records. An awesome all-Concho Valley matchup to open the 3-2A play next week. Ozona making the short trip to Ozona. Little whisper. That's our KLST game of the week next week. Cristoville hits the road over to Anthony. A 6 p.m. start time in that one since they have to travel so far. And then Forsan heading over to Reagan County. It's been straight dominance the last decade plus for the Mason Punchers. 15 straight trips to the postseason, 12 straight district titles as they look to keep it going this year. All 5 of these teams in action tonight, so here's how it looks as they close out non-district play going into district play next week. Mason caps off a perfect non-district schedule with a thriller at home against Wall. Johnson City right behind them at 5-1. Junction, Harper, Stockdale, close. So expect this district to be tough. 4 of the 5 teams get in next week. 5-team districts, only 2 games as it is. Junction travels to Stockdale. Hoppa hosts Johnson City. Mason will be on a bye next week. Down to District 6-2A Division 1, the lone Concho Valley team in this district, the Miles Bulldogs, looking to replicate what they did in district play last year to this year. Well, Miles is putting up points at will so far this season. Thoughts and prayers to all the scorekeepers out there. Your thumbs getting in quite the workout. They don't look to stop anytime soon. Defensive coordinators look out for Miles. Finished second a year ago behind Albany. They look to make it 10 straight years in the postseason when the regular season wraps up. Miles, here's how the district fared, 6-2A Division 2 during non-district play for the teams. A lot of talented teams in this district. Starts at the top ranked Albany sitting at 5-0. 3 teams at 4-1. Miles, Hamlin, Roscoe. And then Cross Plains sitting at 2-3. TLCA Abilene rounded out at 1-4. Here's a look at how week 1 of district play will look next week. Quite the start for Miles, getting the road #1 team right out of the gate. Hamlin hosting TLCA Abilene. Roscoe traveling over to Cross Plains. Down to the 6-man ranks, District 13-1A Division 1. District with 5 teams here in the Concho Valley. A bunch of talent as these 5 schools will look to get into playoffs this season. District was fun a year ago. Here's how it finished. Very best 6-0. Menard, Robert Lee 5-1. Erie County 3-2. Eden 2-4. Next week, district play begins for these teams. Robert Lee at Menard, Eden at Very Best, and Grand Falls Royalty at Erie and County. That a non-district game. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on Friday Night Football. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Here's a look at our Week 7 Spotlight games. Midland Central Thursday night. Friday night, Andrews coming to town to take on the Lakeview Chiefs. Ozona Sonora, that's our KLST game of the week. And then District 5 2A Division 2 district play, El Dorado traveling to Water Valley. All right, that'll do it for Week 6 edition of Friday Night Football. If you missed anything, or you want to watch it again, head over to our website, ConchoValleyHomepage.com. For everyone here at KLST, I'm Ryan Campo. Have a great weekend.
Catering for Friday Night Football is provided by Chick-fil-A. Friday Night Football on KLST, brought to you by Randall Motors. Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick DeHoyas.